Okay, well, I'll say that the negative effects of anger for me have probably just come in almost entirely from the way that people treat me, not in terms of negative outcomes business wise. I think the reason that I still have anger is because it has served me. So I think we repeat things that have served us in the past. And so I think one of the reasons that people misunderstand why they do things is because people ask the question, what triggered that? You ever heard that? It's like, oh,
Hmm.
something triggered this
Hmm.
behavior. But it's not about what happened before. It's about what happened after, the last time you did it. So I'll give you a real example. So if Layla gets upset, and this is something that I've really actively worked a lot on. If Layla gets upset and she cries if we're having some, whatever. I had a tendency to try and comfort for a short period. And then if that didn't work, I would get angry. When I would get angry, she would get scared. When she would get scared, she would stop crying. And so when I got angry, she stopped crying. And so I learned that if I got angry, I got my wife to stop crying. And so it was a very reinforced. I only figured that out later.
Hmm.
And so it's a very reinforcing thing. It's like, oh, if this gets Layla to stop crying, right? And so to the same degree, so I've been rewarded in that setting, but obviously she's like long-term into roads, so then I have to work on that, right? If I value the relationship, which I do. But the same context with my team, right? If I am quick to anger or be cold or sharp with someone, and it doesn't even have to happen often. Like if you do it once or twice, or even if you do it in front of somebody, not directed towards them, they're like, well, I never want, because modeling is a great way that people learn. If someone shows up late and I yell at that person, then that everyone else is still afraid of me and doesn't want to show up late either, right? And so what happens is the flow of communication from other people to me slows down because they're afraid of getting punished by me. And so I see that as not positive for the business, is me not having the information. Now, how do I cover for that? Well, I have somebody like Layla who always gets all the information, and that's why she's CEO and doesn't have direct reports. And so we've been able to manage that within the business operationally. But in terms of me personally, like I want to be better about that. And so that's like an example of something that I'm working on.